Hey guys, this is Doug at Sea Robins. Thanks for watching today. Today we're going to give you a quick rundown on how to break down your campsite with your RV. I'm not going to do like a 40-minute video on this. We're going to do it really quick. You'll be in and out on your way home in no time. So I appreciate it. Just watch, and you'll probably be able to watch this video actually as you're doing it, so it could help you. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and we'll get right to it. Disconnect your power. I always disconnect this before I get involved with anything over at the camper. You click breaker, should be off. Pull this out, and then you're free to disconnect from your camper now. Okay, now you want to disconnect that right here. Now this one has extension cord, plugs in on the outside. A lot of the bigger rigs will actually have the power hardwired into the unit, but this one it's like a big extension cord. That's it. Wrap this up and store it underneath. This is great. It's flat extension cord. Here's my whole 30 amp setup. There's like nothing to it. It's so teeny. I can put it right in here and store it away. Power's done. Okay, next thing, I shut the water off. But then I will disconnect it from the camper. Once you're done cleaning, Kathy will clean in there while we're doing this. And then she'll tell me, I'm done with the water, so then I can disconnect the water. So come over here and disconnect this. There'll be water in this a little bit. I just let this, a little pressure in here. I added this little extension here because on these Intex, it's tough to get in to connect the hose. But anyway, I leave this still loose and plugged into the hard water, the water on the campground, because I want to rinse my hose and stuff the outside of the camper off a little bit when I'm done doing the... Okay, the next thing you want to do is dump your tanks, and I am at my neighbor's because it is a black and gray tank. I just have a gray tank in my unit, but that is the black right there, and the gray. You pull the black handle first, let that drain for a little bit, and then open the gray one next, and that will flush the whole system out because mostly soapy water in there. And then you should be good to go on that. Now that's your black gray. Now mine, I just have a gray which I already pulled here. So what you want to do is just let that drain. You only have one tank, so it's actually a little bit easier. Okay, the last thing I do is got to make sure you close your valve here. So that's closed. Pop this off. The thing is tight. Make sure you put your cap back on. Then I just make sure there's nothing left in the hose, and I like to rinse it with some water. Some people even have another hose. This is technically a drinking water hose, but make sure you just don't touch the breath from fresh water. You cap this anyway, so it really shouldn't have an odor issue, but it can't hurt. All right, so run some fresh water through it. That's it. That's all done. Put the cap back on the ground, and there we go. I put these, got two of them in here. These hoses are great. Go right in, and I got two of them. That way I can get, if sometimes they're really far, you can connect them together and you're good. That in, that's your little slinky for the hose. Got that in there. You're done all that. You can get the hose disconnected and then wrap it up and store that underneath. All right, the hose is in. That is it. We're loaded up. I like to use this Happy Camper too. That's another thing. Before you leave, make sure you treat your toilet. It's good when you're driving to it sloshes around a little bit. So I'll show you how I do it real quick. Just put one scoop of this in the Happy Camper. Put that in, and then you could flush the toilet. There's usually some residual water in there. You can see it's going in. Get rid of that anyway, because that's good. Because mine, sometimes the residual water, like I'll fill up the toilet, and it actually could slosh around when you're driving, especially in this little camper, and it could actually spill out onto the floor. I always have a gallon of water that I usually just get from the campground, from the same thing, and I'll fill it up or dump 1 gallon in, and make sure it's about a gallon in there. That definitely is good, and that the Happy Camper is amazing. It keeps sediment from building up on your tank and keeps all the odors, to me, completely away, the odors. It's amazing. Just put that water in there and flush it. Hopefully there's no more water in your system and you're good to go. That's it. All set for next time. Okay, the next thing you want to do is get all your jacks lifted up. This way your camper is free flowing, so you can easily hitch up your tow vehicle, but leave the chocks in still at this point. Okay, so you just wanted to make sure that this is cranked high enough. Obviously when you're backing up, you can see just a little bit up, and then we can lower down on it now, and we're good to go. As soon as it gets on a little bit, I just give a little pull and it'll pop right on, and you're good. This thing, gotta make sure it's all the way up. So you got your jack down here. I have my block under there. You want to get that leg all the way up. It's easy enough to leave it too low, and you hit something going down the road, you don't want to rip that jack off. So I always crank this all the way up, high as you can get it. Okay, now you gotta make sure your lock for your tongue is engaged, and don't forget your pin. Probably 2 most important things. So put your pin in. That's so important. At least at this point, you're not going to lose your trailer. Then you want to plug in your power source. Okay, and then when you plug in your power source, it should only go in one way. And mine has a little lock here, so it can't come out. So you're good there. Keep that in. Okay, then you want to get your chains. The last thing, don't forget your chains on, your breakaway chains. And you want to crisscross these. Get the other side in. Okay, you should be good now. You got the 2 chains here, right? You got your plug in, you got your hitch down, pin in, and then your jack up. And then I have a block under here. Get your block out, and then you should be good. Now you want also want to always check your connection, your electric connection. Make sure you have power to your blinkers and your brake lights for sure. Okay, then you definitely want to remove these once you're all hitched up again. You want to get these out because you don't want to drive away with those on there. People have done it. I've seen it all over 30 years of camping. You also want to make sure, do this real quick while we're here, you definitely want to make sure that step is up is another thing. But this is a final walkthrough thing. We'll do it at the end. You definitely have to do a final walkthrough. Make sure you did everything properly. Before you go anywhere, you absolutely must do a final walk down. I catch something so many times that I've forgotten. So you want to double check your hitch. It's hooked up good. Make sure your chains, your power's hooked up. Good there. Walk this side, there's nothing hooked up. I mean, you'd be surprised people drive away with a power hose or water still hooked up. Looks good back here. There's the connections are all empty. Come back around. I don't know if you can see, but up top, you want to make sure your vents are closed. Because if they're not, that's a problem. Look this side, make sure we put them up a little bit earlier. Your steps are up to right here. Those are up. That looks good. Doors are locked and closed. I think we're looking good. I think we got the all clear to take off.